Hi everybody, it's Ashley of Day to Day Social Work. I am a private online tutor and I specialize in assisting people to pass the license exam in social work on the master's and bachelor's level. You can find me online at daytodaysocialwork.wix.com/my site. You can find me on YouTube at Day to Day Social Work, and now you can also find me on Facebook at Day to Day Social Work. So I want to make a video tonight just to welcome all of the new subscribers. Over the last couple weeks, I've probably had about 200 new subscribers, so welcome to the channel. And I just wanted to introduce myself in case you haven't watched the videos kind of in order. I've been making videos here on this channel since 2015, all related to social work. After I passed my license exam on the master's level back in 2015. So welcome to the channel, and I have some notes so I can remember what all I want to say, just to welcome you and acquaint you to day-to-day social work and to me. My name is Ashley Harp. I am located in the upstate of South Carolina, and I tutor people all over the country, and I'm going international as well. So just to give you some background about me, I received my bachelor's degree in sociology with the minor in criminal justice from the University of South Carolina Upstate, and I received my master's degree from the University of South Carolina in Columbia in 2014, and I passed the license exam on the first try in September of 2015. My work experience, oh goodness. So my very first job was, and I want to make this short, so I'm not going to blabber all night long and stuff like that. But my very first job, my very first social work job, I worked at a domestic violence shelter, and I was a housing grant coordinator. I don't know if you all remember, back in, I think it was 2011, there was the HPRP grant, the Homelessness Prevention and Rapid Rehousing grant that was enacted by the Obama administration. And so I was a temporary employee for a domestic violence shelter, and I worked there for a few months. That was my first social work job. Then I moved on to grad school, and while I was in grad school, I worked full-time at St. Lawrence Place. That was a transitional housing program for families that were homeless. I was a service coordinator where I pretty much did everything, and I really feel like working there prepared me for anything. I met every kind of person and every kind of demographic and population that we work with, from homelessness, domestic violence, sexual assault, mental health, just anything you can think of, substance abuse, all of that kind of stuff. And I also was a case manager there. I did tons and tons of assessments there, and it was amazing, and I learned a lot about myself there. After that, I went to the police department, and I was a victim advocate there for about 2 years. It was a nice job, but it was too slow paced for me, so I moved on, and now I'm currently a case manager, an ambulatory case manager for a major hospital system in the upstate of South Carolina. My 2-year anniversary is coming up next month in October. So that's a little bit about my background. I've had internships with the Child Advocacy Center as well as the Columbia Urban League, doing some macro kind of work as well. Let's see what else. Just a little bit about my test experience. Like I said, I passed it on the first try. I had no clue what I was doing when I went and took that exam. I just did what I do for any other exam, and that was take all of my notes from grad school, all of my books from grad school, and just study everything. And that was really not the right way to go about it. But I still ended up going and taking it on the first try, and I passed by about 14 or so more points than I needed to pass. So in 2015, after that, I started making YouTube videos, and then day-to-day social work was just born. So you know how people say sometimes things just fall in your lap and they just happen and you don't plan it? That's what happened here, and I'm glad that it did, because I've helped a lot of people pass the license exam on the master's level and on the clinical level, the exam that you take, that advanced the license exam that you take after your initial license, and it's called different things in different states. But I don't specialize in the clinical license. I only specialize in the master's exam license because that's the only exam that I've sat for. Although I have helped people pass that advanced license exam, and I don't mind tutoring for it, but that's not my specialty, and I don't really promote that because I haven't sat for it. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? So I've been doing this tutoring though since 2016. Now, Day-to-Day Social Work is a channel dedicated to tutoring primarily, but it's also just social work related, and it's a very interactive channel. I always invite people to comment in the comment section. If you have constructive feedback about my videos, if there's something that you have more knowledge on than I do, I invite you to put your opinion in the comment section. Just be tactful, and if you see somebody that has left a comment and you relate to it, or you think that you all might be from the same place and that kind of stuff, please interact in the comment section. But aside from the tutoring videos, social work related content is also on this channel. So you might see a video about the jobs that I've had previously in more detail. You might see videos about interviewing and assessment. You might see videos about for-profit colleges versus not-for-profit colleges. So, and I'm working on making the channel more diverse in that it won't just be tutoring and social work exam related, although that is the primary reason for starting the channel. Let's see. Now, you may see a video that I recently posted with Myra Brunson. Myra is coming on as a consultant for me. She is helping me run my Facebook page. So initially, Day-to-Day Social Work was supposed to be just a very small thing where I tutor one-on-one and help people pass the exam, and I didn't want it to turn into something huge and crazy, and I want it to be very authentic. I want it to be me sitting at my place talking to you, tutoring you live one-on-one as I've done in the past with all the people I've tutored, on your schedule, on my schedule. Your kids can be in the background. You're just now coming home from work. I'm just now coming home from work, and I'm the only person that does the tutoring. So that's kind of what makes me different from some of the other people that offer tutoring, is that I'm very genuine and laid back, and I'm just really personable, and I'm here to help, genuinely here to help. I go above and beyond to help you learn how to take the exam, not just give you tons and tons of content to study, because this exam is a lot about strategy and a little about content. So as long as you have a master's degree in social work, you pretty much know the basics, and yes, you do need to review content, but this exam is about knowing how to take the exam, and that's what I help you with. So I just want to put that out there. Let's see, what else makes me different. And I also just want to say, some people offer tutoring, and then they have other people who have passed the exam to tutor people as well. For me, I don't think I'll ever do that, because I tutor people and I help them pass the exam, and they say, I could never tutor people, or I could never do this because of whatever reason, or the reason could be that they struggled with taking the exam and passing the exam and that kind of thing. But I just want to say, and it's not a knock against anybody, but everybody is not qualified or suited to tutor just because you passed the exam. And I know if I felt like I wasn't qualified, I wouldn't do this. And I would hope that colleagues and fellow social workers wouldn't just tutor someone just because they can, or just because they passed the exam. You have to know what you're talking about. And that's why I'm very cautious about everything that I do, because I don't want to give you false information. I don't want to give you incorrect information. So everything I do, anything that has my name on it or day-to-day social work on it, I want it to be the best. And so I will never offer people to tutor people through day-to-day social work, because everybody's not qualified to tutor. Now, some people are, and that's great. But for now, it's just me here doing one-on-one tutoring, but I'm starting to push the pre-recorded tutoring package more so than the live tutoring, because it's growing so much. And the pre-recorded tutoring package is literally the same exact thing as the live one-on-one tutoring, except you can't have me available to answer questions. But that's okay, because I've already addressed the questions that you may have, because I know the kind of questions that come up, and I keep track of trends and everything from the hundreds of people that I've tutored over the last 2.5 years. I know what kind of questions they have and that kind of thing, and I break every single thing down. You can check out my video testimonials of people who have passed the exam after tutoring with me. So that's just enough about that. But to get down to what you came here for, is I do want to give you some tips about studying for the exam. And as you know, there are tons of groups on Facebook and websites and channels on YouTube and that kind of thing, with different people offering different packages and different study materials and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. Like, I'm so glad that there are options and that we have qualified social workers to help us pass this exam. But I want to say, if you are preparing for this exam, please do the minimum as far as pulling from so many different places, because you have this person offering this package, and this person has this material, and this person has these books and this study guide, and that's great. It's a wealth of stuff to pull from, but you need to pick like 2 resources and stick to that, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. This is a difficult exam, but you can pass it on the first try, and if you don't, you can pass it, on tries after that. So just be aware that you don't need to pull from a lot of different places. And I always recommend the Dawn APGAR Comprehensive Study Guide, because you need at least one comprehensive study guide. You need a copy of the KSAs. You need a copy of the 2018 Amended Code of Ethics. And you need to have an updated version of the DSM-5. So those tools are what I always recommend. The study guide, the KSAs, the Code of Ethics, the DSM-5. And if you have one other source, whether it's day-to-day social work, tutoring, or just the videos or whatever else, but please don't buy all these different packages and different things, because it's just going to confuse you. And what you really need to know is how to take the exam. You need to know the content, of course. You need to review. You need to be very familiar with the content, but you need to know how to take the exam, because when I took my exam, like I said, I studied all this stuff, and then when I got on the exam, nothing that I studied was on the exam. Like, literally. It's basically scenarios, and they put you in a scenario, and you have to tell them what your answer is based off of, or tell them what you would do, because the test writer wants you to show your competence. So you have to show them what you would do and what you know. It's not about picking up Erickson's 8 stages of development and putting it on the answer sheet. They're going to give you a scenario where it's a situation going on, and then they might ask you which stage, or they might tell you this is happening with the client, what would you do? But you can't just pick up content off the page and place it on the exam. It doesn't work that way. It's all about strategy. It's all about breaking the questions down and understanding exactly what the test writer is asking you to provide, and that's what I help you with. Let's see. Oh, and in my tutoring sessions, it's strictly questions and rationales and breaking everything down, tailored to you so that you can understand what is going on in the scenario. It's not content review. That's why I have the YouTube channel with all the free videos where you can go and you can review if you are an audio-visual learner. You can watch my YouTube videos. There are tons of other people on YouTube that have good reviews too. All that stuff is free. I would never charge somebody for stuff that you can find in a book and that you can find online on your own time. So when I tutor, it's strictly going over questions and scenarios and helping you understand the rationale and breaking everything down in a simple form so that you understand it. So it's basically you and I just sitting here talking through, reading everything out loud, going through the answers and all that. It's specifically tailored to you. And also, I also want to say, I've helped a lot of people pass this exam, but tutoring with me does not give you a 100% guarantee that you will pass this exam. Nobody should be making you that promise, because even though I go above and beyond to help you pass the exam, learn the strategies, and give you new tips and ideas, nobody's going to be on that exam but you. So it'll be you in the computer, or if you have accommodations, you in the paper. That's it. I can equip you, but it's up to you to pass the exam. So if anybody is giving you a 100% guarantee that you will pass the exam from using their package, and even though, you know, as social workers, we want to be trustworthy, there are some people that are out to scam you, and I'm not one of them. I keep it 100% real, and I just tell you what it is. There's no 100% guarantee, but I definitely go above and beyond to help you understand, break everything down, and make sure that you get your money's worth, because this exam is expensive. And I don't know about you all, but I don't have money to keep paying tutors and buying packages and doing all this other stuff. So that's why I said keep it to a minimum. Get all the free stuff that you can get offline from friends or whatever 2 or 3 at the most sources that you want to use to study for the exam. Use those and then pay for tutoring only. Or if you're not going to get tutor, and I always say you can pass this exam on the first try if it's possible. I did it. I always say try it on your own before you get tutoring, before you pay for anything, unless you just really feel like you need tutoring. Try it on your own before paying for tutoring. I always tell people that because it's possible. But if you happen to fail, or if you failed before a couple times, then there's nothing wrong with getting tutoring. There's nothing wrong with accommodations, and I have videos on on accommodations on this channel. I have a video on the KSAs on this channel. I have videos on the Code of Ethics on this channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and just browse and look at the comment sections and see how a lot of people have been helped from using day-to-day social work. Let's see what else. Oh, another thing about day-to-day social work, even though, like I said, it's primarily to help you pass the exam, it's just about all things social work. I also try to give back. Last year I started I don't know if I should call it a fundraiser because it's not, but for a certain amount of time last year, at the end of last year, I blocked out a certain number of sessions, and a percentage or a certain dollar amount of those sessions went to an organization of a certain person's choice for a donation. So let me see if I can make that make more sense. So it was like 2 months where I had blocked out a certain amount of time, and I did a random drawing. So for 2 months, if anybody bought a certain tutoring package or tutoring session, then $5 would go towards this fund for a donation, or $10 would go towards a fund for a donation. And so at the end of the 2 months, I did a drawing of the people who purchased those specific kinds of sessions and let them pick what organization they cared about in their state or wherever nationally, and we made a donation. And there's a video on that too if you want to go and find that. So I try to give back, and then I also have an incentive for people who tutor with me and pass the license exam to make a video testimonial, and I'll do a drawing for those who make a video testimonial as opposed to just a written testimonial or no testimonial at all. And that's because your video testimonial helps other people decide what person or what tutor they're going to use to help them hopefully pass the exam. So when you give a video testimonial, it is more personable. It gives a face with a name or a face with just words on a computer screen, and it's more helpful for other people, and it also encourages other people who are trying to pass the exam to see someone just give a testimonial about what helped them and their experience with the exam. Let's see. So when you do a consult for tutoring, that is basically, you're going to get some questions, and then I'm going to give you my detailed recommendation of what I think about your situation, and then you can decide if you want to use me for tutoring or not. The consultation is free, and it's free online, so go to the website, and that's going to be listed below. And normally tutoring only lasts about 4 to 6 sessions over a period of 4 to 6 weeks. So I always tell people I don't really think that you need to start tutoring for about 4 to 6 weeks prior to your exam date. People always ask, well, how long should I study? Me personally, I don't recommend you studying more than about 2.5 to 3 months tops, because if you study for 6 months or a year, all that stuff that you started studying maybe in January, you're going to kind of forget by the time it's like October. So, and it's really not that serious. It's a serious exam, of course, but you need to have a rigid study routine for no more, like I said, in 3 months, and that's even pushing it, in my opinion. But I would say 2.5 months is the most, but you need to have a rigid study routine where you study. The KSAs is a great way to start a study plan, because it's an outline of what to expect on the exam. So do that for 2.5 months to 3 months tops, and then 4 to 6 weeks prior to your exam date is when I think that you should start consistent tutoring. Most people only need 4 sessions. I do live one-on-one sessions online, and I've offered group sessions as well for a lower rate. Live one-on-one tutoring sessions right now are $65 for an hour and 15 minutes, or you can buy the pre-recorded tutoring package, which is 5 sessions, which includes 106 questions in 9 question sets and over 7 hours of pre-recorded footage of us reviewing and answering questions and explaining rationales, and you have 30 days access to that, and you must have a Gmail address to access that, and it's $250. Now, I just came off of a special for the summer where that rate was only $150. Because we have so many new subscribers, if you watch this video and you made it to this point, if you let me know that you've seen this video and you've heard this part of the video, you can get the package for $150. And again, it's 5 sessions, which includes 10 videos, which is over 7 hours of footage. And I'm constantly going to be updating that, and it'll still be the same rate unless there's more sessions. But and it's 106 questions in 9 question sets, 30 days access. So that's the tutoring, and pretty much that's it. And there's my timer, because I'm cooking dinner and I just finished the video, so yay me. So subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to working with you. Remember, this test does not define you as a social worker. You can pass this exam. You will pass this exam. Don't give up, and don't think, oh, I've worked in this field for 5 years or 20 years and I can't pass the exam. I must not be a good social worker. Don't think like that. You are a great social worker. You will continue to be great. You can pass this exam. You will pass this exam. And I'm happy to be here to help you. Myra is going to be my consultant. She's happy to help you as well. Get on the Facebook page, Day to Day Social Work. Get on the YouTube page or the YouTube channel, Day to Day Social Work. And the website, daytodaysocialwork.wix.com/my site. I look forward to working with you. Welcome to the channel. Please interact, ask questions, post things, and I look forward to working with you.